Hello everyone. Till now, we have learned about variables and data types. We know that variables store value like numbers, text, and Boolean values. But let me ask you a question. Suppose I create two values, age is equal to 20 or marks is equal to 95. Now, what if I want to add these two numbers or compare two values or check whether a student has passed or failed? Can variables do this task by their own? The answer is no. To perform operations on values, Python provides us with operators. In simple words, an operator is a special symbol that tells Python to perform a particular operation on one or more values. Think of operator like buttons on a calculator. When you press the plus button, the calculator performs addition. Similarly, Python also have different operators, and each operator has its own job. Python provides many types of operators, but today we will focus on the most commonly used one. So these are assignment operator, arithmetic operator, comparison operator, Boolean operator, bitwise operator, identity operator, and membership operator. So let's start with them one by one. First of all, assignment operator. The assignment operator is represented by equal to sign. Its job is to assign or store a value inside a variable, like age is equal to 8. Here, 8 is stored inside a variable named age. Similarly, to assign another variable, we can use, like for example, name is equal to Anushri. Here, Anushri is stored inside a variable called name. So, suppose I have an empty notebook. I write my name on the first page. Now the page stores my name. In the same way, the variable stores a value using assignment operator. Now let's move to arithmetic operator. The word arithmetic simply means mathematics. These operators perform mathematical calculations. Python provides several arithmetic operators. The first one is addition. Suppose we have two numbers, 20 and 30. Using the plus operator, Python adds them and gives us 50. Similarly, 10 plus 5 becomes 15. The next operator is subtraction operator. For example, we have 2 minus 1. By doing subtraction, we get 1. Very simple. Now, come to multiplication. Multiplication is represented by the asterisk symbol because the normal multiplication symbol is not available in the keyboard. For example, 2 into 2 is 4. Now come to division operator. Division always returns the answer as a decimal value. For example, 4 by 2 is 2.0. Here only 2 is written, but it gives in float. Now let's look at another division operator called floor division. Many students get confused between division operator and floor division operator. Floor division removes the decimal point and returns only the integer value. For example, 7 by 2 gives us 3.5. Then if we will do floor division of 7 and 2, it will give us 3. Python simply ignores everything after the decimal point. Next is modulus operator. This operator doesn't return a quotient. Instead, it returns the remainder. For example, 4 modulus 3, it gives us 1. Because when we divide 4 by 3, the quotient is 1. Another example, like for we take 20 divided by 5, we will get remainder as 0. So we will get 0 because 20 is perfectly divisible by 5. One more operator, it is exponent operator. This operator is used to calculate powers. For example, 4 power 2 we get 16, means 4 into 4. So whenever we need powers in Python, we use this double asterisk. Note that you don't have to put space between the operands, but it's good for readability, okay? Also works as a unary minus operator. We can also print negative values like minus 4. Plus is also used to concatenate string values. Means if you want to write this, Roger is a good dog, you can uh, give two different strings and then concat- concatenate it. We can also combine assignment operators with arithmetic operators. Now, let's see comparison operator. As the name suggests, these operators compare two values. The result of every comparison is either true or false. That's why comparison operators are closely related to Boolean values. The first comparison operator is equal to. Notice carefully, they are double equals, not a single equals. A single equal assigns a value. If we want to assign any value, we use a single equal. But double equal compares the value. For example, if we are writing 20 is equal to 20, the answer is true because both values are equal. Next is not equal to. This checks whether two values are different. If we are writing 20 not equal to 10, then we will get true because 20 is not equal to 10. The next is greater than, and the next is less than. It is used for comparing two numbers so we can get true or false. And next comes greater than equal to. For example, we are taking 10 greater than equal to 10, we will get true. And similarly, it is less than equal to. You can also check this by this example. Now you must be thinking where these comparison operators are used. Mainly, this is used in decision making. For example, suppose you are creating a website, only students whose marks are greater than or equal to 40 should pass. Python can check this condition using comparison operator. Or suppose a website allows voting only if the person's age is 18 or above. Again, comparison operators help us make the decision. So now comes to Boolean operators. It is also called logical operators. These operators are used when we want to combine two or more conditions. Python provides three logical operators, or, and not. Let's understand them one by one. The word and means both conditions must be true. Imagine your college has a rule: a student can participate in a coding competition only if attendance is above 75% and the student has paid the registration fee. Now suppose your attendance is 90%, but you haven't paid the fee. Can you participate? No. Suppose you paid the fee, but attendance is only 60% and the criteria was 75%. So again, the answer is no, you can't participate. So here the both conditions should be true. This is exactly how the AND operator works. Think of it like two locks on a door. Both must lock both locks must be open before the door opens. Okay. If even one lock remains closed, the door doesn't open. Or operator. The word or means at least one condition should be true. Suppose your teacher says you can submit the assignment either online or offline. Do you need to submit both? No. Even if you submit only one way, your assignment is accepted. That's exactly how the OR operator works. If any one condition becomes true, the final answer is true. Only when both conditions are false, Python returns false. And one more is not operator. The operator simply reverses the answer. If the answer is true, not makes it false. And if the answer is false, not makes it true. Now let's go to bitwise operator. Many beginners find this topic very difficult, but it is not that difficult. For now, you only need to know what they are used for. Bitwise operators work directly on the binary representation of numbers. As you know, computers don't understand decimal numbers. Everything inside a computer is stored using only 0 and 1. These zeros and ones are called bits. Bitwise operators perform operations on these bits. Python provides several bitwise operators. The first one is AND. It performs binary AND. This performs OR. It performs a binary XOR operation. And this performs a binary NOT operation. This is shift left operation and this is shift right operation. You don't have to memorize all this. We can see this while practicing. So now let's come to identity operator. Is actually identity operator. It is used to compare two objects and return true if both are the same object. The operator checks two values are equal or not. The is operator checks whether two variables refers to the same object in memory. In is also called membership operator. It is used to tell if a value is contained in a list or other sequence. More on lists and other sequences later. This operator checks whether a value exists inside a collection. Now let's practice this in VS Code. Let's make a new file. Let's start with assignment operator. Its job is to assign a value. Like for example, I have earlier showed name is equal to Anushri. Here This name is assigning the value Anushri. Or let's suppose take CGPA as 9.2. So CGPA is assigning value 9.2. We can also update this. We can do CGPA is equal to 9.5, and when we print, we will get updated CGPA. For the value stored was 9.2, but then we assigned it to 9.5. The previous value is replaced now. Next is arithmetic operator. Here I will create a two variables, like suppose a is equal to 20, anything you can take, and b is equal to 10. And then we will perform addition here. We will write print a plus b. We should get 30. Let's see. Yes, we got 30. So, like this, we can do subtraction. A minus b. Let's do multiplication. Into a into b. And let's do everything. A divided by b. Also, let's do floor division. Print a b. And what's left? Modulus. And one more thing is left, that is power. Okay. Now let's check this answer. See, 20 plus 10, 30. 20 minus 10, 10. 20 divided into 10, 200. 20 divided by 10, 2.0. Because it's normal division, we will get in floor. And if we will do floor division, we will get only integer. And 20 divided by 10, we are not getting any remainder, so we will get 0. And 20 power 10 will get this value. Okay, so let's move on next operator, which is comparison operator. Let's make a new file. What I'm writing. Okay, let's create again a two variable. Let's suppose taking same example. Let's see if both are equal to or not. As we know, but still. And see what do we get. We are getting false. Since both values are not same, Python is not returning true. Not, let's see, not equal to. And A not equal to B. And now we should get 2. Yes, there are some more comparison operators. Let's see all of them. Let's do this easily. See one more thing. We can do like this, but not this. This is wrong. Now see, you must be understood now what outputs we get. Okay, so now let's do Boolean operators, which is also called logical operators. Let's see AND operator in this. Age is equal to 20, has ID true. Now print age greater than equal to 18 and has ID. Let's comment it out so we will not have any problem in reading it. Mm. No, this part will not run as I commented it, and we can see output true. All operator only needs one condition to be true. Let's see that also. We are getting false for the second code. So now let's go to bitwise operator. Let's make another file. For now, just observe the output. Don't need to worry much. This is bitwise AND. This is bitwise OR. This is bitwise XOR. This is the five not. This is left shift. This shifts a bit. This shifts a bit to the left. This is right shift. It shifts the bits to the right. Now let's see. Are we getting any error? I guess here we're getting some error. Let's remove this for now and see what output we're getting. Okay, let's now go to identity operator. Let's remove this for now and let's see identity operator. This is very easy. Now let's learn about this. Let's suppose we're taking 10 is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, and writing print a is b. So the output we will get is true. It checks whether both variables refer to the same object. It is like equal to, just like this. Okay, and now take another example. A is equal to 1 2 and b is equal to 1 2. Print a equal to b. Print a is b. So let's see what we are getting. We are getting true for this, but false for this because there are different list objects in memory. So this is returning false. Next is membership operator. Now let's understand this. Suppose name is equal to unknown and print a in name. For now, let's comment this out. So here, let's see what output we are getting. It actually checks if A is inside unknown my name or not. So we are getting true. The letter A exists in this string. So Python returns true. If we are writing here print z in name. So it's very obvious what we will get. We will get false. I written everything in double quotes, so It's printing as it is, but we don't want that. We want to use our membership operator. Okay, we are getting false. So you have understand till now. You don't have to just watch the lectures. Type the code yourself. Programming is a practical skill, so more and more you will practice, you will get more confidence. In the next lecture, we will build these operators and start making decisions in our programs like using if, elif, and else statements. So see you now. Hello everyone. Till now, in our Python program, we have been writing the values ourselves. For example, if we wanted to store a name, we was writing name is equal to Anushri. If I wanted to store an age, we were writing age is equal to 20. In all these programs, who are providing the data? We are. But now, let's think about a real life situation. Suppose you are creating an ATM application. Will every customer have the same name? No. Will every customer have the same account number? No. Every customer will have different information. Similarly, suppose you are creating a calculator. Will every user always add the number 10 and 20? Of course not. Every user will enter different numbers. So instead of writing fixed values inside the program, a program should ask the user to enter the valid information. This process is called user input. In simple words, user input means accepting data from the user while the program is running. Instead of the programmer providing the values, the user provides the values. Now the question is, how do we take input in Python? Python provides us with an inbuilt function called input. The purpose of the input function is very simple. It allows the program to receive information from the user. Whenever Python reaches an input statement, it temporarily pauses the program and waits for the user to type something. After the user types the information and processes the enter key, Python stores that value inside a variable. That variable can be used anywhere in the program. So the complete process is very simple. First, Python asks the user for an input and then user enters a value. Finally, Python stores the value in a variable. Let's understand with a simple example. Like, what is your name? Every student has class will give you a different answer. Since every answer is different, I can't write one fixed name for my program. Instead, I ask the user to enter the name. The same thing happens in Python. We use input function whenever we want the user to provide information. Now, another important concept is the prompt message. A prompt message is simply a message displayed to the user before taking input. For example, instead of just waiting for the user, the program can display enter your name. Like here, it will display what is your age, and then you can enter whatever your age is, like 20. And then when we print, we will get answer your age is, and here 20, which we have taken from input. These messages help the user understand what information to be entered. Without a prompt message, the user may become confused because the program will simply wait for input without explaining what it wants. Now, many beginners will ask an interesting question. Can you take more than one input? The answer is yes. A program can take one input, two input, 5, 10, 100 of inputs. For example, an online admission form asks your name, father's name, date of birth, mobile number, and many other details. Each piece of information is taken separately and stored in different variables. So there is no limit of the number of inputs we can take. It depends entirely on the equipment of the program. Now, there is one important point that every beginner must remember. The input function always returns a string. Even if enter 20 or 100, Python initially treats it as a string. That is a like text. It treats it as a text or a string, you can say. We will verify this practically in VS Code using type function. So let's open your VS Code to understand it practically. Now, by real program, the user will see how to take input. For example, let's take name. We will give this prompt so that user will understand what it is needed to be given. Now let's run this program. Wait, some errors. Okay. Here, Python should display enter your name. See. So here I can type like Anu and press enter. And now my program is printed. My name gets printed by this. Okay. Let's take another example. Yeah, let's print something else. Print welcome and then name. It will again ask, let's give name Rahul. Welcome Rahul. It, it gets printed. Now suppose you want to take age as an input. Age is an integer. Age input. Enter age. It is asking what my age is. Let's give it as a 15. See, your age is 15. It will get printed. We can also take multiple inputs. Like for now, let's comment it out. Name is equal to input. Roll number. Like this, we can print everything, whatever we want. This is similar to filling out any online admission form. Like here, we can give our whatever values we want, and everything will get printed. So now let's explain why input returns a string. For example, here we have given age input, but it is returning a string. We can see by using type function. See class string. We all know roll number is a integer, but still it's giving output as a string. This is most important beginners should remember. Because both values are string, when we use a plus operator, we can also add two values in this. Let's make another file and practice more. Whenever we give comma here, it adds a space between them. To make the output cleaner. Alright everyone, now let's start with typecasting. Typecasting is how to convert one data type into another. Converting one data type into another. Suppose first let's check the data type. Let's take age. Let's run this program. Let's take age 20. We are getting data type string, class string. It means it shows that even though I have entered 20, Python says it's a string. It's because input always returns a string. So let's suppose we take two values, a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. When we continue, when we add both, we should get 20, but we will get 1020. Let's check its value. We haven't taken any input. In this way, we get right answer, but when we do, we haven't printed anything, so we're not getting any output. I think this could be some problem. Here, answer should, because inputs has string, so plus operator just joins the string instead of adding the numbers. So for that problem, we are using typecasting. In this, we will take integer by writing int, and now when we print just both numbers, we will get whatever we want. We get 30. So let's write here 30. Now the answer is correct because int converts the string into integer before storing it. Similarly, when we write a minus, or let's suppose into b, we will again get right value 200. Now we can perform any mathematical operations because the values are now integers. And whenever we want a float integer, we can convert this data into float. Like, let's take a variable called price. Let's also print whatever price is. Let's see what are we getting. Let's suppose we are taking any random decimal number. See, we got class floor. If you're not taking any decimal number, only if we take 78 also, then also it will show class float because it is converting the integer value into float. Let's make another file. For example, if we want to convert an integer into a float, like take variable a is equal to 25 and b is equal to float a. Now print b and print data type of b. As I told you, it is 25, it is integer, but it is converting integer into float, so it will show data type as a class float. And notice that 25 is becoming 25.0 after conversion. Similarly, we can also convert float into integer. Like for example, let's take a variable num and suppose it is 8.9 and x is equal to nth num. When we print x, let's see what do we get. We will get 8. We will not get 8.9 or 10. Many students think that Python rounds to the number, but it doesn't. The int function simply removes the decimal part. You can also practice yourself by using another examples. Let's now see how to convert integer into a string. Let's see what do we get. Here what we're doing is taking a variable age and giving its value 20 and then converting this integer into string data type and then printing the text. We are getting 20 and its data type is class string. Now let's see one more thing. Like for example, if we are converting any integer like hello, then we can't convert it into float or integer. It will show invalid, value error invalid. Python gives an error because hello is not a valid integer. So this is how you can do. And today we learned typecasting, means converting one data into another by using int to convert string into integers, float to convert values into decimal numbers, and str to convert values into string. This is very useful when you are taking user input because input function always returns a string. So now let's see you in the next video where we will learn about if, elif, and else conditional statements.